Hey everyone, I'm Moral Scobrol. Sorry for my bad English, but I always need to practice English all the time. But this is not the video's topic. Today's topic is all about a user called Chuck Samrin Productions. And who's Chuck Samrin Productions? Chuck Samrin Productions is a logo editor who creates many G-Major effects. And of course, he creates super pitches effects similar to ABC 1996 or any other users. And of course, he wants all these effects where also appear in classic super images or even in video forms. But since 2023 until today, I'm now realized what happened. So now he did really bad stuff, and jokes that are not so funny. So today I'm now exposing this user today, but before I start, first I want to create some. I giving credit some logo editors, especially Angry Birds Community 1996 for especially for giving trails about who is this user. So now, especially for the recent video, what happened. So now I am giving credit to that for this user to that. And now today I'm going to explain all this bad stuff and uncover all of his actions. Well, first of all what Chuck Amryin was doing was changing some other people's effects. For example, in my case, I 3 years ago I made GBR 8010, whose video is similar to GBR 431. However, Chuck Amryin changed that to another effect. I don't remember how it looks like because he says I don't know how those tones with 100 plus 105. So, but I still know how to. And of course, he always changes effects until his termination on 2023. When 2023 later returned, this time I see that how he re-uploads a few effects, but later he decided to stop after a few of them. Well, not a few, but a lot of these effects. But later, when reappears again, this time he caused a lot of trouble. He made not so funny jokes, such as example fake cat images. And at the first time, I thought these were real, but I late today I realized these were fake. And also he made all bad stuff to other users, such as having clones from others. And of course, I don't have any screenshots, well, but I had a few of them, so I'm showing a few. Also, Chuck Samrin created another sock puppet, which is a guy. A guy always does exactly the same thing, and also he uploads effects. But of course of course I see some of these effects that were actually other people's effects and changing the name. So in my case, I decided rename, as a retry the effects in a different form and change them, but the name will be kept because it is not fair to change someone else's effects to own names. So yeah, so this is the reason why I'm exposing this. So another thing is I actually saw what happened. So there wasn't someone else will upload a video called that Chuck Summer will be jump scared, but they use an effect where you see in secret like new effects. But yeah, they thought it was a real cat video, but it isn't. Well, later what happened later? Well, Siboxy, also known as Plastic Soup One Effects, first came in 2024, make some effects. The image how this user looks like is similar to Chuck Hamrin, which is a classic simple image. However, it's G major 2 instead of G major 501. So, this user had designed many effects such as G major 7691 or G major 999984 or G major 181818 or many others. Well, such as these effects are the ones who this user made, but by the time this happened, I was still absent. I was absent since 2024, the January, and I finally ended my absent in March of 2025 when this happened. Well, 1 month before I returned to logo editing community, I saw one of what happened later. Well, this will be explained now. Okay, so what Cyboxy did was he created two sock puppet accounts. The first one was Hello Turtle Super Easy We're Funny, and pretended to be another logo editor, different from Cyboxy, but well, it's later compared to be the same sock puppet. Well, the first effect that this user were created was Gmayor 55555, the second version because there was already an original, and other effects such as Gmayor 380,622, the second version Gmayor 54,000, or even Gmayor 73,389, and among others, which I will not tell because there was a lot of them. Well, when I was still absent from logo editor because I was not in logo editing until 2025 because I was still busy with other things. Well, also I was still curious about these effects, but later I decided to avoid that user. The reason why is because of the following things. First of all, in 2025 someone has confirmed that he also uses effects from other people. Here I'll show you a screenshot from back in 2024. The first was a few examples. Example Gmayor 18,601 was actually an effect created by Liam Hefira, which is not made by Hello Turtle but by Liam Hefira, which of course it was the one who uses another effect as an audio. And for about Gmayor 12,584, Gmayor 5,089, Gmayor 4,155, someone else changing the audio because as a result that this user closed this channel. Well, about for Gmayor 5089 was stolen for Gmayor 29915. And well, for the other effect for the bottom, example, the one from lower left was Gmayor 7691, the same effect I mentioned before, which is which is actually made by Cyboxy, the one I'm exposing too. Well, also already credit to ABC 1996 for exposing this. And for your effect for the right was confirmed to be an effect stolen from Liam Hethira. And I don't want to know who are the other two effects from between both of the effects I mentioned. Well, of course, one of them looks familiar because it looks like an effect created by Chalks. But anyways, not talking about that. Another thing that Hello Turtle did was actually criticizing Miroslav, which is another logo editor, for an effect he used to power up when that effect was already released. He already powered up, but I don't know how this effect looks like, but I think it looks like this. And Hello Turtle was very mad. He said that he also Miroslav because of becoming an owner of the effect and so on. And he also threatened that he will become another 8 guy. And another thing what Hello Turtle did was that he stole ABC 1996's description and changing someone's Gmail without their permission. Well, credit for ABC 1996 for this. I'll talk about this post that he made 1 year ago, that he was exposed because of that. And here shows a screenshot about Gmail 49955, which says that it has videos cute square plus Gmail 1213 plus called a cold cube, but this is how the description says. But in reality, this is how I'll show an image and how this effect will look in reality. However, instead of showing that, it shows Gmail 17,724, which is one of Angry Birds Community 1996's effects. That means that if I remember correctly, that user stole that effect. Well, the same happened by Akai and Amryin re-uploading that effect. And of course, that is one of the most things that he did. So you know that changing someone's images without permission is 100% wrong. It's not okay for that. And also copying someone else's descriptions is not okay. And yeah, so as a result of this, Cyboxy closed that account. And how about the second sock puppet? The second sock puppet was Jelmo. Well, Cyboxy was finally exposed for creating that sock puppet account. And what that account did was he was acting much worse, similar to the 8 guy. So as a result, everyone decided to cut ties with Cyboxy, forcing him to close his plastic soup and effects. So I did not. It happened 1 month before I returned to logo editing because like I said, I was very busy. Well, I was still pending on what happened because I was still had to be we finally realized he was causing a lot of trouble, and he re-uploads those videos. And yes, of course, thanks because that user received lots of that he removed all the videos, which is because they were inappropriate. Because inappropriate stuff it's not allowed. However, it wasn't until 2025 when well Chuck Hammer was still cussing. He Cyboxy later returned, this time under the name the YouTube Ultra Mega House 1821, which is pretending to be another logo entity, but now we are realizing where yeah. Well, what he did was he said that he was confronting Chuck Sam before these actions, and as a result, he told that he was an independent one. However, in August until October of the past last year, and he told everyone to cut ties with ABC 1996 because of Doug Splat and RRP5 effects lies, saying that ABC 1996 created Chuck's and 8 guy when he didn't. Well, and for this, one of my Google's partners already exposed both users, which are talked about in RRP5, because of what they've done, because of the lie. They spread the lie that it isn't. That they said that it's true, but it isn't. Well, I saw realize that ABC 1996's effects were now lost for temporal time because he was hiatus until October, and that's because of Cyboxy's actions. Yeah, because he was kept as the YouTube Ultra Mega House 1821. Well, while ABC 1996 returned, he finally released a video about an apology video about what happened, and that because he started to criticize RP5 and the other user, and they say that the YouTube Ultra Mega House uses another logo editor, but it isn't another logo editor, it's actually Cyboxy. And yeah, what happens next? Well, he continued uploading videos, and he already uploaded another video saying that do not release this effect because there will be consequences. Yeah, but I already took a screenshot about this effect. Well, to take the proof because I was still on normal behavior until I saw that description and I say, is that another Hello Troll raising we're funny? Yeah, but he removed also. So he removed it. I took a screenshot of the effect. Went to Hello Troll who made TBR 4741. So he deleted that video. I already took a screenshot of the effect's instruction. Yeah, and yeah, he created a secondary account which is actually still active like that, and also and as for today, 2026, the Amazing Editor 10, which is the same YouTube Ultra Mega House. He also what he did is also changing the meter 73,389. It was already changed because it was inspired by one of ABC 1996 because that effect, I don't remember that name, uses GBR 9027 plus GBR 1, but the GBR 73,389 uses GBR 700, but of course both effect looks the same, GBR 1 even 300 looks the same. But they decided to change it because they say that Hello Turbo Anything with Funny's version is inspired by that other effect, which is unoriginal. And yeah, he pretended to be a different user until I finally saw a post where he confirms to be the same Cyboxy. Yeah, he see you next